People, welcome to Truth TV. Now, today we're going to discuss about the recent exposure with the superintendent. Now, let me say from beginning that I have no intention of sharing that video. The pics that have been circulating on social media and just all over with this lady. Now, from the beginning of the year, there have been a lot of exposure when they come to the police and in their personal lives. No, I personally don't care what anybody want to do, behind closed doors. But I always think that to myself, when you see something bad, and this goes for all of us, when you see something bad onto someone, don't you learn from it? Don't you take notice and say, wow, this horrible thing happened to this person. Let me try and not repeat that thing. But no, we end up doing the same thing, and when the same thing happened to us, we say, oh my god, I'm wondering how it happened, when it literally happened to the person right in front of you, right? What I'm talking about is with the video with the other policeman recording himself and getting exposed in his uniform. Now, I think, when it comes to those things, why do you record yourself in those videos, right? With your face especially. Don't you think something might happen one day? Alright, now the news that is going around that she might have misplaced her phone, or it was lost, and the person who found the phone released those videos. Or the other man that was in the video, he and she had some falling out, and in the set to just post it up. Like, I think a lot of scenarios happened in the past where the person split, and for the ultimate revenge, them decide to just release it. But if it was him, him being in that and doing what him doing, the those who have seen the video, it doesn't necessarily look good on his part. So I think the most logical explanation is that the phone was misplaced, or it was left open and somebody scrolled through the phone, probably send the pics on the entire gallery to their phone, delete the message, the receipt, because you're gonna have a copy on your phone to their phone and just release it. And that is just me just speculating. But I think going forward, for she, it is not going to be an easy task, especially going into the station, because I'm pretty sure that, and let's go for everybody. I don't think anybody in the station, or I think most of them, are not going to try and look up those pics and see what happened. That is just human nature. And, for she to go back to the station and know that they saw everything, it's a really heavy burden for she to bear. And, probably a potential, career path, might change in the future. Because, not only our co-workers or subordinates are going to see it, the people who she have to deal with on a daily basis, not only in the station, on the road, and our neighbors, her superiors are going to come across it. And I don't think any or most woman, in her position, is going to have the mental fortitude to deal with that. So I think, going forward, it's going to be really, really difficult. And, I don't think, many people would envy her in this position. Because to rise to the ranks and become a superintendent, that is just one of the most difficult things anybody can accomplish. You have some people in the force for 10, 15 years, can't pass corporal, after to reach the ranks of superintendent. That's a real accomplishment. And for one moment of mistake, you know, to cost it your career, it's a very hard thing to swallow. No, she wasn't in a uniform like the other police officers, but she did other a prop from her uniform, and it people were saying that it's not she. Just the handcuff alone will show you that, But I think, people are saying that it's gonna blow over quick and that, she's supposed to just relax and, make time take its course. And yeah, the next 10 years they're gonna blow off in the main public eye. The public are not gonna talk about it because it's just gonna be a 9-day talk, right? But it will always be with she, right? The people who are around her. I'm not talking about the public, I'm talking about the people that's in her life day to day, family members, neighbors, associates, the same subordinates, our colleagues. Is that stigma is gonna stay with her for a very long time. And I think a lot of the police officers who see this, of similar things within their phone are just gonna delete it quick or, put it on some other device or something else because you see that the phone thing is not, the police best friend because it has been destroying a lot of people career. And if you decide to do something similar and keep it in your phone, you better be knowing that something similar can happen. Not because there are extra security on your phone or you think that you're more careful. You could be more careful. You have others who might have been more careful and that scenario has reached to them. Yet, but I think it's gonna be a learning process for a lot of people, and a lot of people in general are gonna learn from this. And not just police officers, soldiers, and and the likes are gonna just look on this and say, "Wow, this could potentially, if it falls in the wrong hand, it could potentially ruin my career." I think going forward, she's going to have to do some counseling, have somebody speak to her because this is not something that, as I say, somebody can just overcome. Well, people can overcome it, Anybody can overcome it. They can look and say, a life, things happen, I'm just learn from it, right? But, as I say, it's gonna affect her. She's a police officer, superintendent. She deal with criminal on an almost daily basis. And also things that, for instance, you're arresting somebody or somebody in the custody and, those criminals nowadays, they have no regard. You must say, wait, are you the same woman on the seen in the video on your woman you this and that, your bad, right? And they might say it in front of her colleagues. So these are things also that, she might be factoring in. I personally wonder if she's at the station back, if she's at work, because I know people are gonna, well, the JCF in overall are gonna probably, talk to her about it. I see something circulating around on the internet where the JCF have released a picture or say a letter, asking people not to circulate particular photos and so on. But I don't know if they're gonna put a lid on the situation, right? The bird already flew the coop, and it's basically damage control they are doing now. It's things like these that oftentimes destroy people, and I think people should just sit down and look at it and say, I learn from this. Let me do something different. So that is my piece, and this is what I have to say. Shoot out.